Hi, everybody. Welcome to our next edition of Two Fingers of Whiskey Knowledge. I'm Andy Westley, Director of Whiskey Sales and Education at Foley Family Wines and Spirits. And today we're going to be talking about Glen Scotia from Campbelltown, which is by far the smallest whiskey region in Scotland. Back in the 1890s, Campbelltown actually was the center of whiskey production in all of Scotland. There were 26 working distilleries in Campbelltown, all making a thick, rich, oily, textured, maritime style of whiskey. And for a number of reasons, most of them closed. By 1934, when Reichlocken closed, there were two distilleries left, Glen Scotia and a distillery called Springbank. And to this day, Campbelltown is still the smallest, but in many ways the most homogeneous in terms of style whiskey region in Scotland. All the whiskeys from Campbelltown are big and rich and textured with long finish and this maritime beach foam, harborside on the nose and palate. The scientists will tell you that there's no salt in whiskey, and I challenge you to taste any of the whiskeys from Campbelltown and tell me that there's not a little bit of salinity in these whiskeys, which makes them very interesting. When we talk specifically about Glen Scotia, 128.8 hour fermentations on average. So we get big, almost tropical fruit, mango, pineapple, things that you wouldn't necessarily expect to smell or taste in whiskey, particularly in a whiskey that has this big, rich, textured finish. They use almost exclusively ex-bourbon casks because there's so much complexity in the distillate that we don't need to throw a lot of wood finishing at these particular brands. 40% ABV on the 10-year-old, 46 for both the double cask and the 15-year-old. And then they make a special whiskey called Victoriana, which is 54.2% ABV and has some special qualities that we'll talk about on a later episode. Slán